Banquo's ghost. Although he was now king, Macbeth did not feel safe after his terrible crime. He could not trust anyone, not even his oldest friends. He was most afraid of Banquo, who had been with him when the witches spoke to him. Banquo knew that Macbeth had been excited by the witches' words and that he really wanted to be king. Besides, the witches had said that the kingdom would one day be ruled by Banquo's family. This thought made Macbeth both angry and afraid. He had risked his own life when he murdered Duncan. He wondered whether he had helped Banquo even more than himself. Macbeth felt that he could not safely allow him to live, and he decided to murder Banquo's son also. He was so frightened and so determined not to lose the kingdom he had just won that he planned to commit murder again. In order to kill Banquo, the king, the new king and queen gave a great feast for the chief noblemen. They invited Banquo and his son Fleance as the most important guests. That day, Banquo and Fleance went out riding, but on their way back to Macbeth's castle, they were attacked by three men. Macbeth had paid these men to men to kill Banquo and Fleance, but in the struggle, Fleance es- escaped. Though Banquo was murdered, his son managed to get to England, and Banquo's family did later become kings of Scotland. In spite of all Macbeth's plans, the things the witches said to Banquo came true. The time for the feast arrived, and the king and queen sat down happily with their guests. The queen welcomed everyone and was determined to delight her guests. Macbeth talked freely with the noblemen, and everyone was pleased with the feast. Macbeth said cheerfully that he hoped his two chief guests, guests would soon arrive. Suddenly he rose from his seat, trembling with fear. All the visitors noticed and wondered what had happened. Macbeth thought he could see Banquo sitting in the chair that had been kept for him, but no one else could see anything. Lady Macbeth tried to calm her anxious guests. She assured them that Macbeth was not really ill. Turning to him, she told him fiercely to control his fear before everyone guessed their secret. At that moment, Banquo's ghost seemed to disappear. Macbeth, with more courage now, sat down again. He wished all his visitors, including Banquo, good health. When he said, "We miss our dear friend Banquo and wish that he were here." Banquo's ghost appeared again. Macbeth was helpless and with fear and could not bear the terrible sight. He cried out in a loud voice to the ghost to go away. Everyone got up, wondering whether the Macbeth had gone mad. Could not. They could see nothing. The queen quickly asked her guests to leave in case Macbeth said even more suspicious things. She told them that Macbeth's behavior was not unusual, and that these fears did not last for very long. However, Lennox and some other noblemen did not forget what had happened and were suspicious of Macbeth's strange behavior. Macduff had not even come to the feast because he was afraid it might be some kind of trap for the king's enemies. Macbeth was afraid too. Many noblemen did not trust him, and Fleance was alive in England. He was prepared to kill anyone to defend his position. He decided to ask the advice of the three witches again. They seemed to know about everything that would happen.